And you might already notice how some part of you is listening differently right now. Almost as if this isn't just words, but echoes of something you've always known. Because isn't it strange how a mirror never smiles first, and yet, the moment you smile, the mirror has no choice but to follow. And I wonder how many mirrors inside you and outside you have been waiting all this time just for that first smile. And maybe you can remember being a child, looking into a mirror, maybe even making silly faces, and noticing how it copied everything. Never judging, never refusing, just reflecting. And in that moment it was obvious. You were the leader, the mirror, the follower. And as you remember that now, you can begin to realize that people, they're also mirrors. Relationships, careers, society itself, all of it waiting to follow the lead you give. And when you hesitate, they hesitate. When you smile, they smile. When you act, reality bends around that act. And you know, it reminds me of a farmer who carried seeds in his pocket every day, talking about how unfair it was that his field was empty. And you'd laugh at him, wouldn't you? Because of course nothing grows in an unplanted field. And yet, haven't you done that? Carrying your seed of intention in your pocket, waiting for someone to give you permission, complaining that nothing grows. And the funny thing is, seeds don't care about permission. They only care about being planted. And I wonder what happens inside your unconscious when you imagine yourself finally planting every seed, without waiting, without asking, and noticing the orchard that appears years from now, because you stopped waiting. And another story about a soldier training with live rounds, not because it's safe, because only the shock of real danger burns reflex into muscle memory. And in the same way, every mistake you make, every stumble, every fall is life training. And the unconscious learns faster from failure than from hesitation. Isn't it interesting that your brain is designed to rewire itself through error? Neuroscience calls it prediction error coding. Every time reality surprises you, your neurons upgrade themselves, which means the more you fail, the faster you evolve. So what if failing isn't failing at all, but fertilizer, feeding the soil of that orchard? And then those bars, I'm not enough. I don't want to upset anyone. I'll start tomorrow. It's safer to stay quiet. Prison bars, and yet, isn't it strange how every prison is built by agreement? At any moment, the prisoner can choose to stop agreeing. And when you stop agreeing with those bars, when you refuse the agreement, you discover the walls dissolve. The freedom was always waiting on the other side. And you might already notice now how some of those bars feel weaker, thinner, less convincing. And perhaps one of them is already snapped. And maybe you've already thought about how confusing it is. The waiting for safety is the most dangerous choice of all. That stagnation is punished harder than mistakes. And mistakes, they're forgiven faster than hesitation. And it can be confusing, can't it? Until the moment you realize that confusion itself is the doorway, the brain wide open, ready to let in the new truth. You don't need permission, you don't need safety, you don't need acceptance. You only need intention. And now your unconscious can imagine two futures. One where you keep waiting, and 10 years from now, your pockets, they're still full of seeds. Your field's still empty. Your hand's still clean but empty. And that version of you feels the bitterness of wasted time. The other future, where you plant now, where some seeds fail, some thrive, some surprise you, and 10 years from now, you stand in the shade of an orchard, fruit in your hand, abundance all around, and that version of you feels the strength of lived time. And maybe your unconscious already knows which path you're choosing, even before you consciously admit it. So from now on, without trying, without forcing, you can discover yourself, smiling first, planting first, speaking first, acting first, and noticing how reality, how people, how opportunity begins to mirror you. And every time fear whispers, wait, you'll feel the echo of that soldier's training, that farmer planting, that child's mirror, and you'll remember, safety is the slowest poison, and intention is the antidote. And you don't need to decide how it happens, because you're unconscious. It already has. And isn't it curious how deeply this realization sinks? So tomorrow, next week, next month, without even thinking, you'll be living it as naturally as breathing. Because that is what you've always been meant to do.